Thank you, darling. No, 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 no. Alright guys, I want to talk a bit about Hailey Bailey's comments about let them eat cake, alright? So we know it's a very insensitive comment, judging from the time we're in, the war, high prices for food, all that stuff factors in, right? Like Hailey Bailey is privileged, she's a celebrity, and when we saw her first come on the scene, we were like, oh my god, she's so cute. She's Little Mermaid, she's great, she's the first black Little Mermaid, she's doing well, and we all encouraged it, right? We all were like, wow, this is great, right? And I think, that's awesome, right? We love her, we loved her, we thought she was awesome. But, sometimes you say something or do something, and it gets backlash. Now, I know with celebrity backlash and all that, I don't think it's necessary to, give celebrities too hard of a time for certain things, because I think, in general, it's not like and I mean, sometimes they do have to deal with consequence for what they say. But I think with Hailey Bailey, I don't think it's necessary. I might be wrong, but I think it's just her acting out a different scene, like basically saying, that it's like she's acting out the fact that she's just doing an acting scene, right? Let them eat cake. Marie Antoinette said that. I don't think, and I'm not trying to say this justifies it at all, because it's totally wrong. She should not have said it. But I think she was just trying to act and be creative and not really focus on, I don't think she was trying to focus on being rude. I don't think she was trying to be rude. I don't think she was trying to be mean. I don't think, maybe I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, but she might have been, maybe she wasn't intentionally being mean. But I think most actors and actresses that say stuff that are entitled, they don't do it on purpose. I don't feel they do. Some actors and actresses don't have high levels of intelligence, or they have no compassion because of the situation they're in. They're very wealthy. They have all this money. They're not in touch with what's going on in the world. Like for me, I'm struggling with my bills. I can't pay my rent, right? I'm behind on my rent. I should be able to pay my rent this month because I have 2 jobs and I'm working very hard on both. But in general, it's not something that people that are at that level can really relate to. And not that we shouldn't hold them accountable. We should hold them accountable for sure, right? They're making these statements. Like the thing is, people in the war and the people that are struggling with food, they're really feeling the pinch, right? I mean, it's horrible, right? They're really feeling the pinch. So, I mean, they know that what Hailey Bailey did is wrong, and we all know that, we can tell, right? It was very severe, right? It was very severe in judging by the circumstances. But I mean, in general, most celebrities just try to say the biggest line or do the biggest thing, and they don't mean any harm by it. But their lives are just so full of money and so much. They have not really any touch with society in any way. They don't know what it's like to be poor at that point. In the beginning, before she was rich, she did know what it was like, maybe. But in general, these celebrities are so out of touch with reality sometimes that they don't intentionally mean anything by it. Whether we should hold them accountable for it or not, I mean, it depends on how they act based on the reaction and all that. I mean, then we can hold them accountable. But some of these celebrities really don't care because they have all this money and they just do whatever. But sometimes they do lose out on money, and they do have a hard time, and they can't bounce back from something like this, right? But in general, I think Hailey Bailey, and there was Charlie D'Amelio's cousin, I think, was doing a video. I forget what his name is. I don't remember his name is, but he's on TikTok, and he was doing a video talking about how Hailey Bailey was trying to get some PR from him, and she just messaged him. She's like, "Can I get free stuff?" basically, and he's like, "Okay, first of all, I don't know you. Second of all, unless you're needing major help or you're someone with issues, health issues, whatever concerns, and you need major help, I might do it. Or if you're someone that I know and you're a celebrity or whatever you might be, and I decide, yeah, I think that's fair, I'll do that. Then yeah." But she's just like asking for PR right away with no like introduction to who she is or anything. So he thought that was rather odd, right? But in general, you know, some celebrities are very entitled. They grew up rich and they became rich as celebrities, and they just have no clue what it's like to be poor. Like if you were born in a rich family and you became a celebrity and you became rich, that way, you're not going to know what it's like to be poor at all, right? You might have struggles or whatever, but I mean, you might not know. Some people do have major struggles that make them aware of that kind of thing. But it just depends on the person too. Like, I'm very knowledgeable. I have 2 university degrees. I'm very knowledgeable of people having a hard time and being upset. And I've always been homeless, like even now 4 times. So I've always been homeless 4 times, right? And I could get an eviction notice at any point. My bills are so high, right? For me, even if they're very low. Anyway, so I know what it's like. So I'm very understanding, right? But some people aren't like that, right? It really just depends on the celebrity. So we'll see how this unfolds and what happens. All right, bye guys. Thank you so much. Au revoir.